No,
All right, let me just get this camera to work. Hold on a second.
what part of the world are you in?
Muncie.
All right. I never know if you're in Muncie or Detroit or
Now I'm here. Are you going to be back when Israel for Rosh Hashanah?
no. We will be back in Israel, God willing, for Sukkot. We are in Seattle for Rosh Hashanah, in Atlanta for Yom Kippur, and God willing, home for Sukkot.
I'm sorry, you have find yourself so long in Golos. It probably is not easy.
No, Gullus is not easy. And both of us are really ready to be home.
I'm sure you are. Okay. We got page 27 and we then I don't know, we started page 28, did we?
We started 28. We did the very top third of 28. I believe.
Okay. Okay, so let's do the middle part on the bottom, which is let's tell you Reb Saigon refers to. Reb Saigon, when he took in his machlokas with the Rahamim Meir, says that there was a major meeting between Rachamim Bavel and Rachamim Eretz Yisroel. And at that point, the authority was no longer vested in the Rachamim Eretz Yisroel, and the Rachamim Bavel were entitled to assert their own authority from there on in. Okay. So the Asifa Mishutefet Shel Rachamim Ha'ibur Be'eretz Yisroel beBavel b'Sofar Shel Tkufat HaChitum, at the end of the period of the sealing of the lוח. Now, I don't know how they ran conventions back then. I don't know where they met, how they met, who paid for the food, but evidently they had some big confab back then. בעקבות הבעיות שורר ראש הגולה במכתבו ביחס לשנת ד' תקצב, בעמוד הקודם, on account of the issues which arose in 836 CE, זומנה אספה מיוחדת של חכמי העיבור בארץ ישראל בבבל, that a special meeting לדיון משותף for a joint conversation למציאת פתרון לבעיות שהתעוררו, to find a resolution for problems that arose. על קיום שהספר זו והזמנה משוער ניתן ללמוד מהמכתב הבא. From that we can learn from the following letter when approximately this took place. This letter was sent Asher Shaluch Chachmei Bavel Leben Meir Ul Chachmei Eibur Beretz Yisrael B'Shnat Dalet Taf Reish Pei Beit, which is 922. Okay, so actually we're basically in the 1000th anniversary of this whole issue. K'tayim Michtav Shel Chachmei Bavel Leben Meir. Harishonim Hayu Sholchim Midorshim Miraboteinu Sheberetz Yisrael Shel Eretz Yisrael Shel Eretz Yisrael.
Shel Eretz Yisrael.
Okay, they Kviyat Chodashim, in the early years they would write and request of the rabbis in Eretz Yisrael how to set up the years. They had months, year by year. They didn't have the same expertise in the Seder Ibur. That's why you write them. Shanim Rabot. But for many years, okay, so the conference took place in Eretz Yisrael. They analyzed it very, very well. We raised Bavel on our own for many years. For all these years, we had the same cheshbon. There were no discrepancies. Cheshbon stood on its proper stand and place. The Yom Tovim are sanctified in one way, uniform way. Because all the reckonings are given from one shepherd, meaning presumably they were given to Moshe at Har Sinai. We've never seen such a ruination, such a destruction, breach as you now, Ben Meir, seem to be instituting. But that is handlich v'chadashim beBavel. Hayal lo Rosh Yeshiva lochiach otzanu. Blomar shenisa minhag v'avarti b'reba v'seichem. If what we're doing was wrong, right, and we're doing just unilaterally determining what months, what years, etc. And Bavel, then a prior Rosh Yeshiva to you, Rabbi Rahamim Meir, should have rebuked us and told us we were out of line. We have in our yeshivas with elders who are above 80 years old, and they're very old. None of them recollect that they had to send you guys a message to ask for a reckoning. Ella, atem minhag avosech b'yedechem, kam anachnu minhag avosech b'yadeinu. We're independent of you. We're authorized to do it. Evidently, they agreed that at some point it had to be authorized by Chachmei Eretz Yisroel. But obviously, we're authorized because nobody told us not to do it. We didn't override a boundary. We didn't change any customs. And we're not required to come and ask you guys what we're supposed to do. Okay?
Okay.
So here he gives his interpretations on the bottom. Harishonim hayu. Mimichtav shorosh hagola shichta b'shnas tal taktu mit asher also per zman adayu chachmei Bavel kufim lachlotot chachmei Eretz Yisroel. So from the letter which we saw on the previous page, it's clear that in 836, they were still subservient. After that letter, the Rosh Gola, so after that letter was written 836, things changed. So about 80 years since that joint conference occurred. The 642 chalakim, which we haven't really discussed yet, didn't cause any issue. So I don't think that's what he means, exactly what he means. In other words, he's saying the issue didn't arise, but that's not what they're trying to say. They're trying to say that we haven't had any issue, that we had to make ourselves subjugated to the cheshbon and Eretz Yisroel. But be that as it may, the question is, as you're about to ask, now, when did this meeting take place? What were the subjects discussed there? What were the plenary sessions, and what were the committee sessions? 922. Ben Rasago Ben Meir. The meeting had to occur many years before. But not before 836. Because by that year there's explicit testimony which determines that Chachmei Bavel are rely on their determination of Chachmei Eretz Yisroel. So therefore there's room to assume. I know why I come to that number, but that's 9. No, that's 820. No, 838. Of Shimsha Chareah, because I see about now, or sometime after that. And as a result of that gathering, which took place later than 836, but a long time ago, presumably more than 80 years before the machlokas burst into the open, because knows, but I'm not sure. I get because he's saying no. None of our elders remember that we were kafuf to you. So therefore, therefore, the assumption is that whatever meeting took place before that.
Okay.
So so those are Ibor. They acquired the secrets of the Ibor, and the permission, the authority to determine years. But we don't know what was discussed in the gathering. By manner of reconstruction, it's logical to say that they discussed the length of the month, the average month, the mean average of Kat Yav Tashsak. Because if the time of Rosh Gola, the Cheshbonos were different than ours, so that was solidification. Looking for a better word than that, but the solidification must happen after 836. In the joint meeting, they obviously did not resolve all the questions. And it seems that the question of when the Cheshbon and Maloda starts remained a machlokes. Ben Meir, and that caused the machlokes Rasag and Ben Meir. That's his theory. Okay, that was the issue. This machlokes come up in the next page. Now he's going on the side. He talks about the possible cycles which existed before the Rasag Ben Meir machlokes.
Possible what?
The possible cycles. In other words, we now
Okay.
are familiar with the 19-year cycle, right?
Right.
There's also 28-year cycle, the cycle by which Birkas Hachama takes place.
Right.
That's the Kuf of Rav Ada and the Kuf of Shmuel. There are others as well. The Machzor Amaz, which he has on the bottom right, is Rabbi Nachunoi Gaon's cycle, and that is it's 13 times 19, which is actually the cycle which we use today. It's complicated. I myself know it works, but it's not real. In 13 times 19 years, you come to a complete cycle, not necessarily every 19th year. And that is why your birthday every 19 years may be on the same day as your Hebrew and English birthday, may be on the same day, but it may also be off by one.
Okay.
Not a perfect cycle. The Machzor of Pei Dalet, I'm not familiar with. I suspect that some Chacham made it up. And that's what he seems to say. I'm going to skip it because there's the opinion of Chai Bornstein that there was a Machzor of 84 years. Okay. And that was in effect for 5 cycles. Let's skip that. Okay. Then we have on the middle Machzor Yutes and Machzor Hamitoni. I don't know what the word means. You know what mitoni means?
Mitun is like in balance, middle-ish.
That's with the tough.
That's with the tough?
Yeah.
And with the tet, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that becomes clear from our reading it. With that, Professor Aleph A. Frankel, and Hillel at the Machzor Yutet, Ben Kalei Lelach Ivri was a fundamental principle. So, Lokava Seder Shanim Mubaros, but Machzor Zaydin, which is going to be leap years. Like it is in our static luach. Machzor Yutes Yadu Gam Shem HaMachzor HaMeitoni Hashem Meiton HaYavani. Okay, so this was Meiton the Greek. It's a name. Shkava Machzor Ze B'Mea Chamishis Livnei Asfiras HaNoitzim. We determined this cycle long time ago.
500 years before the 500 years BCE.
Yeah. And the Babylonians adopted this about the next 100 years. So, of course, and to anybody who's a regular Shiva guy, this sounds like heresy. Because it's saying that the 90-year cycle, first of all, we didn't know the Molad. Secondly, we didn't have the 90-year cycle was made up by Goyim, right? Because according to our understanding, at least our conventional understanding, we made up the 90-year cycle, and we knew the mean lunar year.
Okay.
Lunar month, I'm sorry. So, obviously, it's going to create controversy. Machzor Ramaz. Fi shichzuro shel tzadik heyofe. ספרו קורס לחשבון העיבור, פרגרפי, החליטו חכמי העיבור בהתבוססים במולר בתקופה של תשרי, של ד' תקלז, which is 777 CE. לקבוע מחזור רמז כיסוד חשבון עיבור, to take the 247-year cycle. עיגול זה, this cycle כולל 13 מחזורים של י"ט שונים. It's 13 times 19. Using it requires us to expand the assumption of the length of a month slightly more than our reckoning today. They determine to start with the cycle after the cycle then in effect would complete itself. Which is 841. No, 841. Yeah, 840. No, not 841. 741. So what was the first one before? No. That's 741. 781. But there was 777 was the time when they decided to take a 247-year system, and 781 was the year in which they put into effect. כלומר, מייחם מחזור ריש מם, המסכים בשנס ד' תקמ"ב, בשנס ד' תקצח, יתכנס או הוועד המשותף, and then 836 they got together, to לבטל את מחזור רמז, and they decided to annul the 247-year cycle, לקבוע ביסוד הלוח את מחזור י"ט, אז חודש יקת יב תצג, and then they determined to make it a 19-year cycle, and the midah of a month is 29 days, 13 halakim, 12 halakim, and 793. No, 12 hours and 793 halakim. Okay.
So you just said we do use Machzor Ramaz, and he's saying they don't.
Yes.
They don't.
So after this is something which I think he's going to have to talk about later on, because there is a max of 247 years. I don't know when he's going to speak about it. And there's no index in the this book. Oh, there is. There is. Machzorim. So on page 51 and 52, he comes back to it.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a is there so eagle eye says I'm not sure I go my mistake. Rav Nachshon go, right? Machzor lo mushlam shel Ramaz Shanim ham yuchas le Rav Nachshon go Rav Tzadok, right? So not incomplete, more complete than 19 years, but not completely complete. Okay. The next page he has the Machzorios Mushlemes. Rakavor 36,288 machzorim. For whatever reason, which I don't know if we're ever going to learn, but 247 is more correct than 19, but it's not fully correct. 36,288 times 19. That is the correct precise cycle.
Wow.
Okay. It is impressive that there's somebody in the world that understands all this, isn't it?
Yes, it is impressive.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Okay, so I think I'm going to skip the left column, the twilight of the Kufas Hachitzum, because it's basically speculation. Okay, should we start Machlos for second bay or leave it for next time? We should leave it for next time.
Yeah, we'll leave it for next time. Okay.
Okay, so we'll see when we learn next, because next week is Tzom Gedalia, or second day of Rosh Hashanah, but
Yeah,
we'll be in touch.
Will you be available some Gedalia, or you don't know?
Could be in the afternoon. Yeah.
All right, so we'll sing.
Okay. Kusima Tova. Good year.
Same to you. Shkach.